Hey, this video is a little bit different from the videos I've been doing recently. In this video, I have my brother here, and we're going to walk through a feature in an app he's been building. He is learning Svelte right now. He's been a QA engineer for a long time, and he's trying to get in development. So uh, here's Josh. Say hi.
Hello,
He's in a
I
hobbit
am
hole.
Josh.
And yeah, so we're going to look at his app today. And so I'm going to share my screen and we'll walk through what it does. Okay, I'm sharing the screen now so he can see what I'm doing. So here's his app. It's basically like a personal history type of app. So you can, yeah, actually, you know what, Josh, why don't you explain it?
Yeah, so I'm building it's a personal history app. Obviously, it's for writing personal histories and like a memoir of sorts that's based off of individual prompts that the app will provide. Long term, I'll be implementing some AI to predict. I don't know how to describe it yet because I haven't gotten there, but it'll assist with continuing to write based off of past responses that you've given and your personal experiences. So it'll be more tailored to the individual and their personal history that they're writing. So it's like a fancy journal app.
Cool. Awesome. And are you going to add like the ability to like put it like other files like audio and video and stuff, or is it mostly text based?
Yeah, so long term, I do plan on including uh, everything that the family history app, Family Search, integrates with their memories. And I want to long term integrate with them with their public API so that your data is stored through my app and also on your family tree on Family Search.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, so what I want to do in this video is I want to look at the code a little bit and look at how he's been writing some Svelte. We were talking a little before this, and he was telling me the files that I should have open, and so I've got them open here. I just want to kind of look at the style, and you know he's like still kind of like learning Svelte, and so this may not be like perfectly like exemplary Svelte code. I don't really know because I know less Svelte than he does. But yeah, we're just gonna go through and like the tech stack is Svelte. It uses Firebase for storing everything, I guess. Right? Long term, you want to work with the Family Search API, right? But right now, it's just Firebase.
I suspect I'll probably always use Firebase, but I
Okay,
will
but you
allow
might
people
add
to,
integrations.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But yeah, Firebase handles authentication and database storage.
Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, so it's basically Firebase and then some Svelte stores and then some Svelte components to show what's in those Svelte stores, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
And they're also going to be, calling these functions from this login service.
Hmm.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's start looking into some of the code itself. Let me finish what I was saying. I want to, so the goal of this video is to look at how he's using Svelte and the current data flow he has set up, and then I want to understand how that works and learn a bit about Svelte in the process, Svelte store specifically, which I've never used. And then I want to change that to use RxJS instead, just so that he can see how RxJS would be used in Svelte. Because I have, every time he says something about his app. Basically, I ask him if he's tried RxJS and Svelte yet, because RxJS and Svelte is really nice. So I want to just kind of show him what that is like, and yeah, so that's kind of the plan for this video. All right, now let's look at the code. So we've got a login service, and let's start there. Okay, so I probably should have looked into this before, but I think there's like a Firebase RxJS package, and I know there's one in Angular. It's like Angular Fire. I think that's what it used to be called. But this is its own, this is not Angular, obviously, but I wonder if no. There is like an RxJS Firebase package. That's probably what I should look up first. So I'm going to Google that. Not RxJS. Let's see, Firebase RxJS. Let's see, npm. Now that looks kind of old. RxFire, that looks more promising.
I think that's the one. I've seen that one a lot.
Oh, it's got a bunch of downloads. Okay, so example usage. We got query. Oh, that is an observable apparently. Well, after you call this function on it with the ref. Okay. Let's not bother with this yet. If you like RxJS later, you can do this and it'll be nicer. But I think for now, I just want to look at how, because with RxJS we can do like a callback. Like we can create an observable of a callback or something like that. RxJS, we can build RxJS stuff on top of what you have here. So let's just do that.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing is these, we've got a few imperative things in a row happening here. And so this is like an imperative style programming. So usually if you want to be completely reactive, there'd be a single event that would happen and then everything would be downstream from that. So I'm just going to look at what this does. Okay, on snapshot, what does that do?
So that's so it returns an unsubscribe function. So it's their way of doing maintaining the connection to the database and keeping it open. So it sends every change down through the line. Let's see.
Okay, so this will happen
it fires
a lot?
That. Yeah, so every time there's a change in the database, it will fire the what I have there, the user information store.set doc object. Every change will get put into the store. So I'm using that to refresh the store with the current
okay.
state.
Oh, so when you call this function, it sets up that function, or does this just run once?
So
yeah,
that so it's probably not greatly done, but every time auth things change, so a refresh on the page, it refires these
it's like this, right?
Connections to the database. And then
okay.
Yeah.
So this is when auth state changes, and okay, so if auth state changes, then it sets up a new a listener for users. Well, actually for the current user only, right?
Yeah, current user only.
Oh, I see. So this is the database. This is accessing the users in the database, and this is getting this user.
Yep.
And this is doc as in like document, as in data.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you'd expect this to probably run only once, unless the user gets updated somehow, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And can they update the user like in
So
settings or something?
they will be able to at some point. I don't have
Okay.
anything implemented like that yet.
All right. Yeah, so this stuff is like naturally a good, there it is, a good fit for RxJS. It's like very reactive. Okay, so, all right. So you're checking if the doc exists, you're putting it in the store, and this should never happen, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Unpause. Okay, cool. So I'm probably not going to worry about this. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but this is like a...
That's just a way for me to check to see if this is happening for any reason.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not, it's not a, it's good to have. I'm just wondering, like, where I to put this. Like, if this was an observable, how would I do this? And there's a tab operator where I can do this, but it'd be more like a if doc exists. So there'd be like a separate observable for when it exists and an observable for when it doesn't exist. And so what do we do with the one that doesn't exist? That's like, I think probably it could be like a side effect. It could just be a tap, and we could just log this, and then we would like, because catch error in RxJS, it converts an error to, well, we're not using catch error. We're just doing this. So I guess this would just be a tap on the main stream. Okay. Okay. I want to use DataDapt because with RxJS, I mean, this is converting from state or from an event to state. And RxJS isn't the best with states because actually, no, we could just do a simple thing at first and just do like a conversion and just convert every store into a behavior subject. Do you want to do that first? Just do the simple thing
Sure.
first
Yeah.
and replace these with behavior subjects. Because
Yeah, that would be fine.
they are just observables basically. But then at some point, if like we don't want it to be a behavior subject, we want it to be a stream that derives from these, like it's composed of other streams. And at the end, we can do like a share replay and ref count. Yeah, maybe yeah. I think we probably should just go all the way. I'm like changing my mind, but I think we should just go all the way to full observables, because like the behavior subject, like it wouldn't make it any more reactive to just replace it as a behavior subject. And like it doesn't really do much either, because so the only difference between the Svelte store and the behavior subject is basically with the behavior subject, you're going to call .next on it instead of .set. Other than that, the way you use it is going to be the same, pretty much. Actually, do you use any derived stores in Svelte?
I do with the prompt, write a prompt feature. When a user wants to modify the prompt that they're writing, that they're using to write their story from, the derived store is pulling, I think, from that.
So is that
Maybe
in this
you'd
file?
have to look at it would be,
I'm just going to globally search. Oh, prompt store. Okay,
yeah, in
so
the prompt store,
right
there's,
here. It Shouldn't be in any. Probably
Yeah, it's
just converting it. Okay, so
yep.
yeah, so this was JavaScript before a couple days ago when he converted to TypeScript. So this is forgivable. So derived. So, okay, so you take in one store and then you give it a function for how. What is sample? Lodash. Oh, you're
That's Lodash,
subscribing
yeah.
with this dollar sign, right? Wait, what is
Yep.
this? Why does this have a dollar sign before it? Is that a Svelte convention?
That's subscribing.
Okay, it's just weird
What
because
was that?
it's the parameter of the function. So I didn't think this would be doing anything special since it's just part of the variable name here.
Yeah, so the way Svelte does derived stores is you hand it the data that you're pulling from in that first parameter, and then in the second one you're telling it that you're going to end up setting using the set callback, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Oh, right. Okay, so
It
this
took
is
me a
setting
lot of
itself.
searching to get it working.
This
Yeah.
is setting itself. So this is setting this. And
Yeah.
so this is declarative because it's not changing something somewhere else. This is a declaration that's complete and self-contained. So it's setting, and what does sample do?
Sample just grabs a random unit from the array.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So if this was RxJS, what you would do is, I'm just going to write the code. It's not legit, but so usually the convention is to put a dollar sign at the end of your variable name. So it'd be this equals prompt store pipe, and you do like a map. So here's a question, because in the last video I did, I talked about the limitations of RxJS for state synchronization. So like derived state like this, because if you wanted this to be really efficient, you would do like distinct until change, or this would be actually above. That would prevent it from running more than it needs to. And then you do like a share replay. So all these things you'd have to do to make this efficient. So really RxJS isn't great for synchronously derived state. And so why is this done in a Svelte store instead of, like, I don't even know why derived stores exist in Svelte really, because Svelte has the ability to like, let's see, where is this used? So here,
Just in the, yeah.
I mean, what you could have done is I could have, where would you put this? I mean, you probably could do something like this, where you do let, so you do dollar sign because it's reacting, and then you just put this, let's see, prompt store here. So you subscribe to that, but then you do like a sample from Lodash. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Because this will subscribe to the prompt store, and this just becomes derived state. So, oh, is it because in order to share this with multiple components, it has to be a store? Do you know?
Because you can't export it from a just the individual thing. Yeah, that's why I did the store in the first place, is is if I wanted more than one component to access the single random prompt, and I ended up needing the modify prompt to use it, I think, along with the one that you saw.
Oh man, uh, that actually sucks. That makes me really sad about Svelte. Let me Google that. So Svelte, why do derived stores exist?
I mean, there is a chance that I shouldn't have used a derived store for this at all. This was the second thing that I implemented, um, maybe the third. So I was still very new to anything Svelte.
Yeah, but well, this has to be it because why would derived stores exist at all? Because Svelte has its own reactivity, right? Um,
Mhm.
so like Svelte does have this, right? And so why? What's the deal with this? What's going on? Is this like not let?
Yeah, you don't need to have a let. It's just the $sign.
Okay. It is an import. Okay, so this is completely my problem. So if I just do that, okay, and then okay, so this is valid syntax right here, but you can't use this syntax inside of a store, right? This is reserved for only components.
I think so because stores are just TypeScript files and not Svelte files.
And you can't share state between components without a store, right? Unless it's a direct child or something.
I think so. I might be
Okay,
wrong.
that sucks. That's too bad. You see, this is actually something Ryan Carniato um, mentioned. It's something I've looked at before too. Like Solid.js, it has like it's reactive, so it has synchronous reactivity too. The way you do this with Solid.js is you do this. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, there we go. But it's a function, and you just go prompt store and sample. That's how you do derived state in Solid. And signals. So what the thing that is at the very top, it's like a store, but for Solid.js. It can be created anywhere, inside or outside a component. So you can share this thing too between components.
Hmm.
So so the issue with Svelte's reactivity is it's tied to the component because it's compiled from the Svelte file. And so like you can't oh man, I hope I'm wrong about this, but I already knew that you couldn't do this special syntax outside of a component, really. And so for a long time, I've been saying that Solid.js actually has my favorite syntax. Just like Svelte is really nice, but the fact that Solid.js is a little more flexible, that's what makes me like it out of all the frameworks right now, I think. So interesting. All right. Okay. Well, if we can't use Solid.js's, I mean not Solid. Yeah, we probably can't use Solid.js's syntax here, but in the prompt store, like since we can't use Svelte's reactivity here, that's why derived stores exist apparently. Okay. Got a notification.
Yeah, that was my laptop deciding to start charging.
Oh. Okay, so um well, yeah, like I don't even. So RxJS isn't the best at derived state, like I mentioned earlier, because of all the extra operators you need. Svelte's reactivity is bound to components. And there's something that just sucks with everything. Yeah, that's too bad. Well, let's just make RxJS work, and yeah, that'll be fine. So okay, but that's just a derived state, so we don't need to actually go into this. This was sort of like a side thing that we were looking at, but you can do derived state with RxJS. And if you want to, all you have to do is just do a map operator, just single operator, and don't worry about efficiency. It's not going to be that expensive to. The thing with the map operator is every time, derived state with RxJS, every time you get a new subscriber to it, it runs that map function for each of them. So that's how it's inefficient. But it's not going to slow your app down unless you're like doing a lot of stuff. Okay. Well, I think, yeah. So let's go back to this, and let's just decide on the amount of work that I want to do in this video, and like if there's anything specific that you want to see with RxJS. So, oh yeah, okay. So actually, I'm going to put this at the top level because it's kind of controlling everything. This is a controller basically. This is like MVC, like model view controller, and this is the controller. This is events and a bunch of setting. Yeah, people, just so you know, people are weird about console logs. They don't like console logs in apps, like in production code. Like there's an ESLint rule for, and some people have commit hooks based off of this, where they prevent you from even committing your code if it has a console log in it. So, just something to be aware of.
I mean, I'm planning on removing all console logs anyway at some point, and only ever if I need to having a console error. But even then, I'd rather display in the UI than in the console.
Yeah, yeah. If it matters, then the user probably wants to see it. So, okay. So, what does this one do? Okay, so it looks like it's accessing the same data, except. So does this have a prompts property underneath it too? You just want to put it in a different store?
So each user has their own collection of responses. And so this one it grabs the prompt when they're writing a prompt, and then it saves it to their collection with their response to it. So this is a way to view that.
Yeah, but this is a property of, like, this is the same data, right?
Let's see.
I mean, it is accessing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, because that one's just a doc, it's not actually grabbing the child collection. It's only grabbing the key value pairs on that user rather than their child collection.
Okay, but wouldn't it? I mean, could you just access here like that? Couldn't you?
The screen's frozen.
Oh, so you can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, it just shows highlighted collection.
So the code up where it's grabbing the snapshot for the first one, so get user account information, that function, isn't that the parent object that it's accessing?
It is, yeah.
So could you access prompt responses from this data?
There probably is a way. I am not sure. Since I'm also very new to Firebase.
Okay.
My understanding was that because I'm grabbing a doc instead of collection, it ignores all collections and only
Oh,
shows docs.
yeah, that's possible. Okay. All right, I won't worry about it. It's just I'll just think about them as separate, completely separate. Okay. Okay, and then so you grab the collection, there's a snapshot. There's a collection like an array, but it's like with keys and values.
Yeah,
I've used Firebase in the past, but I don't remember exactly.
yeah. Collection is pretty typical. NoSQL, just an array of docs.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so what store are we changing? So user information store, user responded prompt store. So these are separate stores,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
they're,
user information store is really only ever shown on the settings page, and then responded prompt store is shown on the timeline page.
let's look at get all prompts. Okay, and it's sending the prompt store. Okay, so this is an event that happens, and then we are, oh, what's this? Okay, it's another store. So we've got 4 stores here that we're not directly setting them here. We're setting one of them, and then we're kicking off other things that need to happen to set these other ones. So how would this be wired up reactively? I mean, I think we probably went over everything we need to. Like, I think I understand everything that's happening now. Let's just see what happens on the other side of this, though. So let's look at the top one. Do you know if this is being read in any components directly? The user auth store?
I think it's only ever being accessed by the header component.
Oh.
And the router on the main app component.
Oh, it's just to show which routes. Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now I think I understand everything that's happening here. Okay, so the benefits of wiring stuff reactively is that things can determine themselves. And so when you're analyzing the data flow, you don't have to draw as many lines between things. And so, like, this is an event that happens, and then there are 4 things that need to happen downstream from this. And and then this is good because these things are like they kind of take care of the immediate downstream things here, but in some imperative applications you'll see like a .then here, or like an ngxs state management library in Angular allows you to subscribe to things like this and then do stuff immediately after. So so the fact that this just calls this, and then under here it's doing more, kind of on its own, that's actually a good thing. Because, at least the downstream concerns aren't being handled here. So anyway, okay, so, all right. But yeah, let's see. What do I want to do? Okay, so I think what I want to do is just start at the top and make this an observable. So I'm going to install RxJS now. I think any version should work. Yeah. So, all right. I wonder if I need to restart the dev server. Who knows? Okay. So I'm going to use a behavior subject. So I'm just going to change this right now. Actually, I'm going to find all references first, just so I know what to look for. No suggestions. Why not? Okay, and that will be null. And it needs to be any, right?
Yeah.
It's not actually any. It's some specific Firebase object, but it's going to be something or null. Okay. All right. Now let's look at all these places that was used. Okay, so this actually won't be too difficult. So we'll just import with the $, and we'll do .next. Let me just search here. Oops, I should have done Command D. There we go. Okay. Next and $. Okay. All right, so that's good here. Oh no, I have to say without formatting. You should use prettier. Do you use prettier?
I do, yeah.
Okay, how come this didn't? How come this formatted? Is it just because the number of characters changed? No, it went less. It should have gone more. You don't have a prettier config here, I don't think. You do. Did you may not have formatted this file. I wonder if
not have, I added prettier.
Oh, later on.
Like a week or two into writing things, so
it's possible that this didn't do it. Do you have format on save?
Yeah.
Enabled? Okay. And the line width is like 80 characters by default, I think. So what is changing? I mean, this is... What's the character? What's the column width? So I have to zoom out to see it. 86. So, is this my own stupid problem? Probably. All right, I'm just going to say without formatting. So every time I save, I have to do it that way. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go to these other references. Oops, that's my extensions. Here we go. Okay, now header is going to complain. So this is actually the easiest thing to convert to behavior subject because it's just, really simple character. Hey, okay, this file didn't change. That's good. Okay, that should be, oh, that's because of that. Okay, so that's easy. Let's see, 164. Yeah, so that didn't change the formatting. Cool. I got login, bulletin. Yeah, so this is basically, and you don't even really have to do this character replacement. Like $sign is just a convention, and it's not actually that important. So yeah, kind of doesn't matter. But anyway, so this actually shouldn't change anything. It should just work still. And all that happened is we just replaced a store with a behavior subject, but it should still work the exact same. Waiting for changes. I think I might have to restart just because I installed the RxJS package. I've had a weird experience. This isn't Vite. This is Rollup though. Wait, import. Did I put it in the wrong thing? Oh, I need to save this. There we go. I think. No. Login service. Oh, I'm in the login service. Oh, it's working. Okay, I don't know what that was. Okay, all right, so I think it's working. I don't see any console logs.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh. Okay. User's not logged in. Okay, now I'm going to sign up. Date picker. Is this like a native HTML element? Date picker?
Yes. It's pretty okay.
Form is invalid. Do you know what's invalid here?
I think
Birthday, maybe.
it's probably from so I'm using two external packages for validation. One of them is an email thing. It's not a package. It's regex. It might not like the email, but it could also be the password.
Well, didn't care about that.
Why does it?
Let's try that. Nope. So we can debug this. Sign up.
What time does it say form is invalid?
It's not talking to Firebase, is it?
No, that's my front end code.
Okay.
It's my handle sign up function.
Min 6. Oh, it needs uppercase and digits for password. Okay. Yeah, you probably want to figure out how to get like specific.
I thought it had that.
You are signed up. Oh, look, here you go. Here are all the prompts. Wait, I shouldn't have any prompts yet.
So prompts are...
Oh, they're
they're
global.
Everyone will have a huge list of prompts. Yeah, they're global.
They're just
but
from
you
the
won't
website.
have any... Yeah, if you go to timeline, it'll show you that you don't have any user-responded prompts.
Okay. So anyway, that part worked. We are logged in.
It does.
Should we, I guess, I don't remember what that password was. I should have saved it.
So want me to look it up real quick?
No, I'll just create a new account. I'll just create a new account again. So the email was actually fine. Okay, so I'm going to do ASDF and then caps ASDF and then 1. I'm just going to save that too. Okay, I'm signed up. Yeah, let's save that. Okay, so now I can go back and forth because that's what we're rewriting is the sign up function, right? Or
The
what is
login and
this?
sign up all in one.
State changed. Okay,
Yeah.
so whatever that is. It'll just run at any time. Okay,
Yeah.
I think. So this code runs as soon as the page loads, right?
Yeah.
Ought. It would be called ought. Man, that formatting thing is so annoying. Ought. Yep. So it's running automatically. So this just is subscribed. But the way with the way RxJS works is, something needs to subscribe to it. So, yeah. Well, so I want to make this an observable. So let's try that. Auth state changed equals, and we'll use from event. Why isn't it? Okay, I need to restart TSC server, I think, so that it recognizes the new npm package. Okay, is it ready yet? Yes. Okay. From our event, RxJS, perfect. Okay, so we get the object, and then I believe that's how you do that. What's the deal with this? Let's look up. I don't use this that often. From event. So RxJS from event. So you take an element and then the event name. So I mean, I think I'm doing it right. Oh, jQuery style event emitter. So that's the problem with this. It should work. But the way, okay, so it needs to add event listener and that stuff. So I think there's like a from callback. I bet I can just do this. Nope. From callback. Bind callback. I'll just look at the top result. Yeah, this looks nice. Okay, from callback. It just calls it with, I think it just calls it with the argument. So let's have TypeScript help us figure this out. So from callback. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Bind callback. Okay, and let's see what type this is. Void. Oh no. Got user here. How do I? Oh, is this multiple steps? Oh. How does this work? Okay, so that took a little bit of work. I paused and figured it out, but basically I'm just creating a new observable from scratch. There were other things, but RxJS expects you when you're using a bind callback to have like other parameters and stuff. I'm just using this. Could just install the RxFire npm package, but I thought this would be faster. Maybe it wasn't, but anyway, I have it now. Okay, so, okay. All right, so I subscribe and it's logging that now. All right, so user auth. So when does user auth get nexted? When, because I'm wondering if this is now redundant, because what if user auth is just a filtered version of this, you know? Like, if you log out, what does this emit? That is a question. did it already refresh? No, there we go. Okay, if you log out, it outputs null. So I think this might be redundant now, because this is basically converting an event to a container of state, but this observable can act as that container now. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see. This is in login store. Let's just see where this is being done. Oh, just here. Log out, that makes sense. This actually logs out, right? Like this triggers this to run, doesn't it? Or this?
The screen's not updating fast enough for me to follow exactly what you're saying this to.
That's too bad.
Yeah. So my logout function, all it does is call the Firebase logout function, and then that handles everything else up there. And then
I'm just gonna
after that
assume.
succeeds,
I'm just gonna assume that it does, that it changes, and that this emits. I think it does because this emitted. So when you hit log out, down here, something you do here. Are you talking to Firebase here anywhere?
yeah, the sign out.
Oh. Oh, that is from Firebase. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is all actually redundant now. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Delete user. I'm assuming this will trigger this to run. Otherwise, Firebase has a bug. Okay, so that actually isn't necessary because that is now part of this. So now I'm wondering, should I probably should just export this from here? No, from here as user auth. And we need to import, oh, that was pretty simple. Okay, and the thing is, if we wanted to, oh, we need to export. Why are we, oh, we don't need to import this anymore. And over here, just gonna do that. Now let's see if everything broke. Login, it's working, right?
Yeah, that's working.
It looks like the exact same thing. So there actually is a difference here though. Yeah, so the difference is here we have an observable and it's not like a share replay observable. So like everything that, okay, so if we, yeah, let's see if we can show it here. I'm just gonna do that. Okay, it should, if I'm right, I might be wrong. Yeah, it logs for everything that's subscribing to it. Okay, and the other issue is if something subscribes to it later, it'll miss the event. So let's see if this can work. I'm sure there's a way to do this internally, but I don't care. Share replay and ref count. Oh man, we have to just do share. This is RxJS 7. Share. All right, what do we have here? Share config, ref count, replay. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to Google this. Let's answer this question once and for all. RxJS share replay ref count. What is, Okay, RxJS 7 deprecated. Share replay was too popular to deprecate, but Lesh says it's next because it's full of foot guns. Okay. Replace share replay with share, but how? There we go. Oh, publish replay one. That's what I meant, I think. Okay, what's the replacement? Oh, nothing. Oh, I downvoted this too. It's not. That'll actually cause you a bug. It'll never unsubscribe. Ah, that sucks. I should have upvoted that too. Okay. Publish replay. That's what it's called, not share replay. Did I get this right in my article? I just did an article. Publish replay. Yeah, I did it right. Okay, good. You know, it's deprecated, but I think it still works. So I'll look at the options of share first. So RxJS 7 share. Up. Detailed change list. Share. Okay, what are those exactly? Is this 7? So let me see if this probably has share. Here we go. Share. Options. What is this? Oh, connector. Don't know what that is. Reset on complete. Oh, maybe I do share and reset on complete true. And then, oh, reset on ref count 0. That's what I'm looking for, I think. Let's learn this. Reset ref count 0 true. That's a long option name. And then how do I replay though? Like publish replay. Like where's that? Replay. This isn't worth it. It's gonna take, like, there should be something that's like quick. So I'm gonna do publish replay. Yeah, I know. And then ref count. Or, yeah, there we go. So this actually will work. Yeah, we can do the same thing and it'll log once. Yeah, it'll work for now. Like when you migrate, there'll be a thing. It'll be easy. So let's see. It's just right now, not many people have migrated because Angular actually doesn't require RxJS 7. So I don't think there's much attention to this yet. Anyway, what's the deal? Okay. So see, it only logged once. So that's the difference. So that is an unfortunate thing you have to do in order to make like RxJS useful for state. Okay. All right. Okay. Gosh, that took. Yeah. That's the thing with programming. Like, even though it's now been an hour and a half and this was supposed to be all the time that we needed, it just takes longer to do everything. Anyway, so let's try to hurry and finish with these things. Like this is running, but we want it to automatically run after this thing changes. So what we can do is here. All right, this is only being set up once, right? Oh, import. Okay, yeah. So that's only being called once. So we actually don't need this anymore, okay? what will break if this isn't working? User account information. Where is that shown in the app? User account
Just on
information.
the settings page, I think.
So, do you know? Let's change the settings
Maybe it's
component.
the profile page, actually.
Oh, profile. Profile. Yes, that looks like the right thing, right?
Yeah.
So
that
profile.
I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this should be broken now. I'm going to save this, and this will have nothing. Yes, good. Okay, now back over here. No, in CRUD. We're importing this. Okay, so what are we going to call this? Well, this is actually, we don't do this here. User information store. So this is now going to chain off of, wait, was this the same file? Yeah, it was. Okay. So now this is going to chain, instead of store, it's going to be an observable. Is this initial state? Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
So we can import that and pipe map. Actually filter, we want to filter. Filter just if the user's there. And then we want to map. So we're going to map to, so up here, whoa, where are we? Oh, this is, okay, this is what I was looking at. So, oh, we're switch mapping actually, because this is an asynchronous thing that needs to happen. And so once we know that we're logged in, we're going to switch map. And I'm going to call that, I can't call it auth, that's what it's called, right? I'm going to call it auth data. Okay, and then this is mad because we can't do this. We have to return an observable. So are you familiar with what switch map does?
No.
You can probably guess what map does, right?
Yeah.
So switch map is like map, except you map to a different observable. So here we're taking the user auth, and when it emits, if it emits something truthy, then we're going to start listening to another observable. So this trips people up at first because we're defining user information, which is what happens at the end, and we're starting with user auth. But this isn't the value that's defining user information. We're just starting here, and then we're switching to user information later. Okay, so I hope it makes sense later, but let's see. So on snapshot, what does this return? Do we need to do another observable thing here?
Probably. It returns an unsubscribe method.
Yeah. Okay, so where did we do that first one? I think we did it right here. Yeah, right here. Oh, yeah, this is right where we... Okay, so yeah, it's good these are defined together. Okay, all right. What are we returning? This will be a map after the new observable that gets created. And this will be a this will probably be a tap operator. Yeah, so we can tap, check this, do this, if this isn't true, and then filter to this, and then it will map to that. So, okay. All right, I'm going to implement it and then explain it. So let's see. Well, it's all an observable. So I'm going to just return observable. You know, this is actually unnecessary extra syntax there. So yeah, this will make it format a little nicer. So, okay. Now, instead of this stuff, well, I'm going to copy this. But instead of that, we're going to get okay. Passing the callback. So this, all this is one callback. I want to do the most minimal callback though. So I'm just going to copy this part. Oops. Okay. Okay, I don't want this anymore. This is not imported yet. Neither's that. Neither's that. And I think we probably need another parenthesis. Okay. Parenthesis. The singular of that thing. Okay, so we've got auth data. We actually don't need the auth data here, huh? Oh. Current user. Where's auth coming from?
Just the Firebase thing.
Okay. So we're actually not even using this. Right, we didn't pass anything into this function. Right, okay. So we're not even using this, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay. What? Oh, doc. Okay. Okay, so we just created an observable. All right. There's an observable there. Okay. So that was, I'm going to save that. And yeah, it's not respecting the line width at all. Like, what is up with that? Weird things have been happening with VS Code for me lately. Okay, so filter. Is this where I filter? What do we have? So I'm going to do a tap first. Oh, don't put it here. Put it after. So tap. What is this? Unknown. Why? Oh, wait. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. This is unknown as well. Right, it doesn't know what we're passing into this. So we have to type it as observable of user. Could I pass it in right here? That'd be nice. Let's see if that did it. That did. Good. Cool. I'm glad they have that. And this is going to be document data. All right, now we got this and it knows what that is. Okay, cool. But I still never did this stuff, huh? So actually I need to, this is a function now. And I need to do all of this stuff. Wait. Oh, this is their API. So I actually should. I really only need to do one, so I'm just gonna do. Okay. Do you see? Are you following?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So I ignored the error and complete states, but I don't care.
That's fine.
Okay. So now with this tap is like, it's like map, but it doesn't return anything. And so it's like the way you do side effects if you have to. So for now, I'm treating these as side effects. And I mean, console error ideally wouldn't be there, but okay. So, all right, so that is that. Now we can filter. Okay. Okay, now this below will only run if it exists. Right. So now that's where we can return a new object. And we're returning it because we're defining the store. So now we can delete this. No, not restart server. Save without formatting. There we go. Okay, now we can return, we can map to this. Doc. Oops. Let's just do that there. Okay. There. Now user information. All right. We can now go and replace this everywhere. So this is no longer used. Okay, what was the name of that one? User information store. Now it's just going to be that. Oh, we're even changing where we're importing it from. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that import and come on. Where's the auto import? No. Login store. Okay, where do I get login store? Oh, it was already there. Yeah, and this is not required. There we go. Okay, so I was pretty close. All right, see? The TypeScript's working, so it knows that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't know. All these are any's. What was it before? Was this typed well before?
There's probably an any before.
Oh, where was the thing I deleted? Oh, that was in this file. Well, it should have at least known that these were Booleans. But anyway, so we can just type this right here. And now ID will be a string, is admin as Boolean.
Boolean.
That'll be a string, but
string, I think.
I'll just be content with having it how it was. Okay, now here, Boolean. Yep. Do you see how that worked? So basically, before you had two stores, and you were setting both at different times, and now right now the store is the thing, it is the event, and then you have another store that's a different kind of event. It's derived state, though. So do you kind of see why this might be appealing? Because it's like self-contained and nothing else is setting it from outside. It's like completely controlling itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Another benefit is whenever you use this, it subscribes to this. And so if there isn't anything on the page that needs the user to be logged in, it will automatically just not check. Like none of this code will run. It only runs if something is subscribed to it. So I'm going to throw these on at the end just because it's kind of the same concept. It's like shared state. So I'm just adding these. Yeah, and my opinion of Svelte kind of changed a little bit with this because I didn't realize that you literally can't share, like their reactivity is totally bound to their components. That's really sad.
I might have implemented the stores improperly as well.
I don't think so. Because why would derived stores even
I
exist?
I feel like I probably could have accomplished this, what you did, with just the store itself. I just am not
I don't know.
experienced enough.
I don't know about that because I remember watching one talk where they jumped through a lot of hoops to get Svelte stores to do what this is doing right here. I don't remember exactly what they did, but to get something that's updating over time on its own, and then to get something else that reacts to that each time, with something asynchronous in between, I don't think Svelte does that. Like, do they have async derived store? Because that would probably be what, I mean, maybe you could pass an async function into derived, and that'd be cool. Yeah. But, I mean, Svelte stores, they eventually will just be RxJS. Like, the more features people demand from the stores, the closer it'll be to RxJS. Because RxJS is so well thought out that anything that does a good job will approach what RxJS does with asynchronous events. So, yeah, I don't think there's a way for Svelte to do this, but, I guess I could be wrong. All right, well, so that's that. Now let's look at, what we were initially testing, null and null. So let's update these to be just $sign at the end. And when's it going to refresh? Oh, the whole thing's broken, right? I need to fix the errors everywhere. Oh, look at this. Log out will set this. Okay, look at this. So if log out, so we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
We need to change how we react to the log out event. Same with this. So this isn't necessary either. Okay. So that's one of the things that happens when you do things reactively is logic that is touching the same thing gets put all in the same place. And then you can see things that are redundant and get rid of them. So is there anything else? Oh, I don't need that anymore. I think I've accidentally formatted some files that I didn't need to, but okay, and that isn't even used anymore, so that's okay. Okay, now let's go back to, should be building now. I think that was probably the last. Okay, so we don't filter this actually. We're going to where was that? Sorry, what were you going to say?
Are you trying to find other places where the user information store was being accessed?
I don't remember what I was right now I'm trying to cover the logic here now, because now instead of doing nothing here, what we're actually going to do is return conditional things. So if it exists, then we're actually going to use that data. If not, we're going to provide the default object. And so what I want to do here as well is just define this in one place. Default user information. Okay. Null. Okay, and actually what we need to do is start with here. This is an operator that just immediately emits something. And so now we'll have user information, then we'll have this be a Boolean, or birth date is admin. ID string, yeah, so makes it an any, but I'm going to, empty string would have been, I don't know what I would have done here. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so see what I just did with the start with and the default?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I think we're okay.
That is nice.
That kind of expanded pretty big.
Awkwardly.
Yeah, so now if you want to know why this is what it is, you just look in one place. Nothing's controlling this. This is completely declaring itself. So you're like, okay, so depending on if the user is authorized or not. Oh, actually. I think I put something in the wrong place. Because when this is false, we want this. So this like switch map, or the switch logic right here. Okay, so I think this needs to be like nested. Okay, so switch map, it's going to return a new observable, and then right here we're going to pipe. So this is assuming we're logged in. Right here we're logged in. So if we're logged in, then we map to this. Oh, and that was supposed to be if it doesn't exist. Yeah, I think this will be the only thing we need to do. This video is getting long, so I'll just hurry and finish with this part, because I think this makes like the main point I wanted to show with why you would use RxJS and Svelte. So
this is making me want to attempt to try to do this with just Svelte to see if it's even possible at all.
Yeah,
No
try
matter
that.
How convoluted?
Yeah, try it. Yeah, I bet you'll start implementing some things that RxJS does. But let's see. Okay, so we want this to be up here. Okay. I should just copy and paste those formats. Okay, and then this as well. Oh yeah, and then I already defined that as its own. Right, so okay, so this map can be up there too. Okay, and this won't be filtered here. I don't think this should be filtered. This is going to turn into a really long thing, so we probably should split this into two observables. And one of them, okay, so we're going to call this, well, do we merge these? We can have each filter and then merge them in the end, and one will emit or the other will emit, but they'll never both emit. I think that's probably the right way to do this. There are many ways to do this, so I'm just going to try this. Default user information equals. So this will only run if there isn't a user. So let me turn that. So there is no user. And then we just map to this right here. Okay. And we don't need to do that share replay stuff here. We can do that when we combine these. And then this is like up to date user information. And then we can do like basically everything here. And you know what, since this is now all in its own branch, I don't need to complicate this with nesting. I can move this back out to like the top level. This I'm going to move out. This is chaotic right now, but it's going to simplify in a second. Merge. Do we do an array? No, we pass in the arguments separately. Okay, so we're going to merge those in a second, but I'm going to put these here. So we're going to merge this. Oops, that needs to be a const. So do you see why people have a hard time with RxJS? This is complicated, right?
It is, yeah. Especially since most of these operators you're using, I would have to go and look at several times to know why they exist and what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like these are like the ones you use all the time. Start with whatever that will end up being, map, tap, switch map, filter. Like these are like the top ones you learn. So anyway, okay, so let me explain what's happening. So this will never run unless the user is not logged in. So if this emits, it's going to go down one of these two paths. It's either, if it's falsy, it's going to go down this path. If it's truthy, it's going to go down this path. If it's truthy, it's going to end up getting updated user information. And then this merges those back together. So they were filtered into their separate paths. Now they're merged back into the same path. And so you'll always have whatever the user information should be. Excuse me. So either you're going to be getting it from this stream or from this stream. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you were only calling this stuff right here if they were logged in, but there was no document. So this is in the right place. Yeah. This is in the right place. I don't think you had this here. I think you're just checking if it existed and setting that, but this will end up being what it is anyway. So this actually might be even a slightly better implementation. Like this might fix a bug there because you have to return something. So anyway, things in general are a little simpler with declarative code.
When the store was initially created, it was created with the default user information. So if there's no user logged in, then it always defaults to the default stuff. But using the Svelte store, but
yeah,
I wonder.
Oh, looks like we have more places to update. Okay.
Yeah, just places probably checking if it's admin or not.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is we never had to worry about anything setting this directly. It wasn't a derived store before. So you could have been directly setting it anywhere. So that was nice. But if we did have to do that, then what we would do is we would create a third thing to contain what people are trying to set. And then we would incorporate that into the final value. It would be like, I don't know, we'd probably just merge it in as well. Yeah, probably. That's probably what we'd do. Yeah, so, okay. All right. So Does that make sense? I think we finished. So yeah, does this make sense? Do you have any questions?
I'm looking forward to looking at it. I'm assuming you're gonna submit like a fork request or something or whatever,
Yeah, yeah. I'll
and then
submit
I'll
a
be able
pull
to look
request.
through everything and then play with it and see what I think.
Yeah, let's
There's a good
see.
chance I might end up redoing everything.
Oh yeah, there's like you're learning a lot while you're doing this, and by the time you get the end, like no matter what you've done, by the time you get to the end, you're gonna want to rewrite the beginning.
Yeah.
That's just every project you do for the first like 3 or 4 years of web development. You're gonna want to rewrite it by the end because you'll be learning so much. And then after that, it'll take 1 or 2 more projects before you look back and then want to rewrite something from before. So, all right, so let's see what we had. So this file turned from 153 to 117 lines of code. This one increased quite a bit, I think. No, this one also decreased by 32. This one increased by a lot. It's 67. So 67 minus, I could do get stat, get diff stat, but so 67 and then this is 32. So that's 35. And then this is that's 34. All right, so it's about the same number of lines of code, I think. So that's interesting. Yeah. Cool. All right.
It's just more localized.
Yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to just be more self-contained. And so if you highlighted your code by what feature it's defining or controlling, this what it was before would be more like a rainbow, and this would be more like everything's together. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap up then. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Is there a way I can do like equal split view? Because both of us should be on
There
here.
is, yeah.
How do I do that?
Um,
There we go. That's show everyone on the side. Yeah, whatever. All right, well, I guess we can look at you. Oh, showing a tile. There we go.
There it is.
Okay, so overall, how complicated do you think RxJS is, like out of 10?
Probably only a 3 or 4. I think it just has a very steep learning curve, but once you're over that, it's very simple.
So like the learning curve looks like this. It's like
Yeah.
steep at the beginning, and then it kind of, after that, you're just learning what specific operators do. And yeah, it took me forever to get the from event thing though. So there's that. So I've used RxJS a lot, but I still run into stuff like that. But anyway, okay. And then Svelte, I don't know why I never made this connection before, but the fact that derived stores can't be, or that the reason they're necessary, it has to be because you can only use Svelte's reactivity inside a component, like that $ thing. So that sucks a lot. So that means you can't reuse that whatever is reactive there. So it's basically just a convenience for subscribing to stores. It's just a good syntax for subscribing to stores. But really, if you want to do something that's future proof, why would you want to marry it, like couple it to that syntax where it can't be moved? Like what if you suddenly need it between more components? That's why it's safer to just create a store instead, probably. So, man, all right. So I think RxJS might be more important in Svelte than I realized. So with the article I just wrote that Angular needs a reactive primitive, I would have written the same thing for Svelte if I knew that Svelte's reactive primitive, whatever it is, it really can only work inside a component. And writable store, I mean, maybe that's fine. Maybe there should just be like an operator, an RxJS operator that converts to, or a function that converts from an observable stream to a Svelte store. Maybe that's what's needed, but I don't know. Don't have enough experience in Svelte to know. So anyway, all right. Well, I think any last words before I stop the recording?
I learned a lot.
Cool.
It'll be good for me, I think.
Cool. Yeah, I'll push this code up and you can look at it more. All right, I'm going to stop now. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Comment if you have any weird questions or comments.